Hey guys, it's Merrick, and some of you may know I played a shit ton of the Delta Force Hawk Ops Tarkov mode over the closed alpha, and I had a hell of a lot of fun with it. So here's going to be my first attempt at a gameplay commentary with that. The game is very Tarkov light. You don't have to have magazines, but it is the same concept where you're going around looting, shooting, and fighting people over stuff while trying to do missions on the map. The character I'm playing here is Stinger. He's probably my preferred character. He is a medic. He regenerates darts that can provide heals to him and his teammates. He has a smoke grenade and a smoke drone. There's not a whole lot of different maps that were available in the closed alpha, so the only map that most of my videos are going to be coming from is called Zero Dam. This is also my first attempt at something like this in a game of this nature, so please give me feedback on what you do and don't like. I'm going to try to cut out most things that involve traveling from point A to B, but I will try to leave in things that give us information or that are important to the fight. And I don't know if you guys want me to leave in or cut out looting, so we will just speed through it for now and adjust for the next video. Oh yeah, what's in the brick? Give me the money! Damn it, it's not money. If it were money, it wouldn't make me do this. I don't know what's in the brick!
Back on your feet, mate.
It's a green kid! My team spawned at Checkpoint, which is a spawn that actually has a lot of different options, but can also wind up in a fight very quickly. Instead of taking any of the more aggressive options, my team opted to directly go for a substation because there's a lot of opportunities to get fights there as well. It's just that they're more localized to the spawns that are close to substation or that rotate down from visitor center rather than fighting out in the open, potentially in those streets. I forgot to repair my armor because I took so long between games that I just kind of rushed myself. And it was funny because I'd made fun of King for this just the game before, and now I'm the one that had this happen.
How dare you play?
Yep. I was talking builds with chat, and I forgot to do it because I was taking so long that I just readied up without paying attention to it. We're the first team into substation, and we didn't see anybody peeking us along the side of the building while I was putting my armor on, so we know that it's fairly safe. We spend some time looting substation, shooting out some recon darts to see if anybody is approaching, and then once we don't see anything for a little while, we decide to go admin.
Admin time.
Admin is the highest value loot spot on the map, and occasionally spawns the boss, so it's always where the fights are. No stop, rush B, suka bliet.
Why you idiot?
Bro, my fucking heart. My team plays pretty aggressively, and we generally like to run at shots, but we haven't heard anybody shooting thus far this game, which is why we took our time at substation, and then why we are being careful as we approach admin. Just because we haven't heard shots doesn't mean there's nobody in there, so I use my smoke drone to cover one of the windows as we approach. We run up alongside of the building and try to take the front of the building. We don't hear anything, but we also kind of drop the ball by not watching the roof. Nothing really comes off the roof this time. There is a balcony that they can drop off of, but we didn't hear anything, so we didn't really pay it much attention, and we just push into the building. We finally hear shots in the distance, and as we step into the building, you can hear that the shots are coming from the other side of the building, so we are ready as we push up. As I got to the top of the stairs, I heard somebody running across. I quickly picked him up, but before I backed off, I did hear somebody in the server room, so I waited for him to peek me. The lasers are visible to the enemy. The green laser is the least visible laser of them all, and these guys just happened to not be paying enough attention, and they peeked right into my laser being on. Maybe they thought they could win the fight, maybe they just weren't paying attention, but it worked out for me in the end. Because that last guy died instantly instead of going down, and we got the whole squad wipe marker, we know that this other guy that we are shooting at over here seems to be from the other team that was fighting this team in the beginning. The only nades that exist are character ability nades. King drops a nade into that room to try to finish off the guy he knocked down, but considering he calls out that he knocked one and damaged another, I push up, heal King, finish off his kill, he still gets credit for it, and then I keep pushing looking for this last guy. If Chrissy killed one behind, King killed one there should only be one guy left up here as I start looking through these common angles. I over-aggress thinking this guy might be running away, but if he were on this doorway I'm looking at now as opposed to the one to my left, I'd have been in trouble, but when he's on neither of them, I assume he's hiding in the kitchen here, so I slowly cut the angle instead of just aggressively peeking it, and I see him between the island and the sink, and I'm able to slot some shots through there and catch him. Too many people lay in this fucking kitchen, man. The meta for the game was roughly purple, gear, and ammo, which, speaking in Tarkov, roughly averages out to about class 4. That was because class 5 is incredibly expensive, and class 6 armor can only be crafted, while also being incredibly expensive. However, blue ammo is still worth quite a lot of money per slot. It'll outdo every single blue item and most purple items in value per slot. Full stack roughly comes out to about 20 to 25k depending on what it is, 30k in the best of situations. My group kind of plays on you loot what you kill, so I left some blue ammo there for my teammates, and I was also hoping that we would run into more enemies as we went along, considering we only killed 2 teams so far.
Arrow from west towards us, from barracks.
And we do hear a recon dart going overhead, which leads us to find a third team right around the area that has the wall breaker quest.
Wall breaker right now.
I try to go out this window and realize that I can't actually vault it. I spot one of them on the corner there, and I try to take a few shots. I tag him up, but I don't manage to take him out. And after a few seconds of realizing he's not going to repeat, so I put my armor back on as I head to the computer room to jump out of the balcony there. Between taking the fight from the window and then having to repair my armor, my team is way ahead of me, so as I approach where they're engaging the enemy team at, I drop a few heals onto King because he's actively peeking. It doesn't have a big initial heal, but it does do a little bit of healing over time, so I put that on him, and then I start to peek myself. Chrissy absolutely ruins somebody at long range with the Vector somehow, and then I catch this guy on a tight angle. I trade a few shots with him, but I'm being incredibly greedy because I'm competing with my 2 teammates for kills. Not in that we're actually competing, but just the fact that if I take too long, I know for a fact that they'll get those kills. Chrissy murdered one of them, so there's to be 2 people left on this team. I eventually do back up to finally heal myself, though. As soon as I do, King murders another one off to the side, and I quickly panic trying to get myself healed up so I can push this last guy. I also realized finally that I'd been using blue ammo as opposed to pulling my correct purple ammo out, which is tier 3 ammo instead of tier 4. Purple being 4 and blue being 3. We get this guy pinned behind the box, and I do manage to pre-fire him as he peeks into me, and I get the kill finally. As far as we can tell, there are 5 teams at maximum on Zero Dam. We managed to kill 3 teams ourselves, and it's possible that one team made it off the map or was killed by a different team, so it's very likely that the map is clear at this point, so I take my time trying to pull some of the loot out, but at the same time, I'm also trying to speed up and not waste my teammates' time. So, upon looking at the review of this, there's actually some better looting I could have done. I'm kind of trying to get the best that I can at a glance and make it quick, because I don't want to waste too much time so my teammates and I can get into another game. Even though one of them said that this is probably one of their last, I was hoping we could fit in another one, so I'm kind of rushing it. There is a little bit more value per slot, though, so this is definitely not an optimal looting guide, that's for sure. But depending on how you guys react to this video and what you guys want to see, I could talk about getting good money per slot and proper looting in future videos. Likewise, though, the M4 that I'm running is actually a very budget M4, which is why, with a purple kit and a orange backpack, my estimated value going into the raid was only a little under 500k, when the gun itself can roughly be about 200k if you get a good mod. The budget M4 that I'm running is actually at roughly 140k with the whole thing. It's obviously not the best, but it is incredibly cost efficient, and I run it just for fun at this point. The loadout code will be in the description under the video, and when the game goes live, if that loadout code does not work, I will remake it and edit it back into this video just for that. But in case you don't want to wait that long, the loadout for this M4 is essentially just a basic M4 with the combined grip and stock, a RK0 forwards grip, the practical green barrel, and then the blue muzzle brake. If you find them because they're common enough, you can easily throw on the purple muzzle brake and it will still be cost efficient, but the budget build that I'm using here started with the blue muzzle brake. If you're going to be buying a laser, which I do recommend because having the laser on and activated will increase your handling by a fair amount and will give you a much faster ADS speed, I would use the green laser. If you're being absolutely incredibly penny-pinching budget, you can go without it, but you need to be wary when you're trying to aggressively take corners that your ADS speed is going to be much slower. Likewise, if you run the laser, people that are paying attention will be able to see the laser, so you should be toggling it off if you're holding an angle, but you need to be sure to remember to turn it back on when you go to push or be aggressive. You could leave it on when you're holding angles because the green one is the hardest one to see, but more experienced and prepared players will know where you're peeking from and be able to backtrack to your location based off of that. As for an optic, the most budget thing you can run is just a standard red dot of your choosing because that'll also have the least recoil. Most people like a slightly zoomed optic, so they take one of the 3x or even the 1x5. That's more expensive. I have to run a canted with any of my scopes because of a specific bug that I have, but it's also worth keeping in mind that any zoom you add to your gun, any more enhanced optics, any zooming that you do will mean you have to pull down more and will experience more recoil when trying to shoot your gun. It'll be the same recoil pattern and the same style of recoil, but because you have a closer zoom and you're looking from a different field of view, you will have to pull down more the more zoom you have. Your feedback will help me decide what stays in and gets cut out of these videos, but I absolutely loved my time playing Delta Force. I have more videos lined up for this already, even though the game's not returning until October 14th. But let me know what you do like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think, so I can improve my videos moving forwards. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I'll see you next time.